So you may have noticed there was a bit of a pause in my content lately. I got caught up in life. I recently was married, and 2 days after the wedding, no kidding, I had to put my companion of 4 years, my beautiful, loving golden retriever, down. Her kidneys were failing, and there was no hope for recovery. And with all of that, I kind of got distracted, and creating content was put on the back burner. But we're getting back into it now, so thank you for your patience. Oh, Randy, you've been a bad boy. But not this time, actually. I'm not overly thrilled with the way that people are reacting to Randy Pitchford's responses about Borderlands 4's PC performance issues. Now, I know Randy Pitchford sucks. He's a controversial figure, and he's kind of a jerk. I know his name primarily because of Stephanie Sterling's coverage of various questionable things he's done over the years. But I think in this particular case, he's actually right. And people are shooting the messenger instead of listening to the message. Stripping away all the emotion and looking just at what Pitchford is saying, I think he's right. When a PC game isn't performing well for you, you have exactly 4 options. Accept the bad performance and play anyway. 2. Adjust your settings, lower resolution, reduce graphics quality, enable upscaling technologies like DLSS. 3. Upgrade your hardware. And 4. Don't play the game. And that's it. Those are your options. There's no 5th option where the laws of physics bend to your will and your hardware magically runs things that it can't handle. And what I find fascinating about this whole thing is that if you actually read what Pitchford is saying, he's being surprisingly helpful. He's literally telling people, give me your specs and I'll help you figure it out. He's engaging directly with players, offering personalized optimization advice, and reportedly helping people go from 30 FPS to 90 plus FPS. So let's marvel at that for a second. When was the last time you saw a CEO of a major game studio personally troubleshooting performance issues with individual players on Twitter? Most developers would hide behind generic, "we're looking into it" statements and community managers. Further, Pitchford is also being honest about the technical realities that other developers dance around. Modern AAA games are increasingly designed with upscaling technologies in mind. DLSS, FSR, and frame generation aren't band-aids. They're integral parts of how modern rendering pipelines work. Fighting against using these tools is like refusing to use anti-aliasing because you want native image quality. So when he says Borderlands 4 is designed for modern hardware and can't run on a PlayStation 4, that's not elitism. It's just the reality. If your PC is equivalent to PS4-era hardware, you're going to have a bad time with a 2025 AAA game built in Unreal Engine 5. Now, is the game badly optimized? Probably. I don't know. I don't make game engines, and I've never even messed around with UE5. But I've seen what games like Clair Obscur have done with the engine. Breathtaking visuals that run smooth as butter. So yeah, maybe there are some optimization issues with Borderlands 4. Unfortunately, Randy has been clear that this is what the game's performance is going to be going forward. This isn't like Cyberpunk, where the team said, yeah, we screwed up and we'll fix it. He's saying, this is the product. These are your options for making it work better. Getting mad about it isn't going to change anything. You can either work within these constraints or you can't. The thing that really seems to have upset people is Pitchford telling unhappy players to get a refund. But that's actually good advice. If you bought a product that doesn't meet your expectations and you're not willing to make the compromise necessary to make it work for you, then yes, you should return it. And it's remarkable to hear someone like Randy Pitchford say, look, the game is what it is. If you aren't happy with it, I'll give you your money back. Most companies would be happy to take your money and leave you stuck with a poor experience. Pitchford is literally telling people to get their money back if they're not satisfied. And that's much more consumer-friendly than most corporate responses, and especially surprising coming from Randy Pitchford. So why are people so angry about what seems like reasonable, if bluntly delivered, technical advice? And I think it comes down to 2 things. First, Randy Pitchford has baggage. Years of controversial statements and decisions have eroded his credibility with the gaming community. And when someone already dislikes you, they're going to interpret even reasonable statements in the worst possible light. And second, nobody likes being told that their hardware isn't good enough or that they need to compromise. It's much easier to blame poor optimization than to accept that you might need to lower your settings or upgrade your system. So my point is simple. Even if you think Randy Pitchford is terrible, and he is, and even if you have legitimate grievances with his past behavior, which you should, that doesn't make his technical advice wrong in this particular case. The laws of computer graphics don't care about our opinions of Randy Pitchford. If your game is running poorly, you still have the same 4 options I mentioned earlier. If someone with Randy's technical background is offering to personally help you optimize your setup, well, maybe it's worth putting aside your feelings about him as a person and take advantage of that expertise. And look, I'm not trying to rehabilitate Randy Pitchford's reputation. He sucks, and that's not going to change. But in this specific instance, I think he's getting unfairly maligned for giving people honest, technically sound advice. The gaming community has a habit of demanding both brutal honesty and perfect diplomatic PR speak, and those two things are mutually exclusive. Sometimes the truth just isn't what we want to hear. Sometimes the solution requires compromise or spending money that we don't want to spend. And sometimes the truth comes from someone we don't like. But that doesn't make it any less true. So instead of focusing on how the message was delivered or who delivered the message, we should focus on whether the message itself is helpful. And in this case, I think it is. Randy Pitchford still sucks. He's still awful. But he's right in this particular instance. If you don't like the performance of Borderlands 4, then you can either get a refund, upgrade your hardware, lower your graphical settings, or deal with the bad performance. So that's it. That's really all I wanted to say. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, all of that great stuff. Continue giving Randy Pitchford a hard time by all means. He's a jerk. He sucks. But he's right on this particular thing. So enjoy Borderlands 4 for those people out there who are enjoying it, and have a wonderful day.